acceptable as far as I was concerned.
All right.
So
she spent the weekend with Noah, though, and no money was exchanged.
Of course not. No.
She spent it because she found him attractive, and they spent the whole weekend having sex, shopping.
having free sex, Anthony.
Free sex.
Candy the porn star had free sex with our lowly intern.
Right.
Who's pretty much a nothing trying to, learn about radio and things like that. No offense to Noah.
Knock a man down.
No offense to Noah. He's still a young guy, and he's, he's growing and learning every day.
Mm-hmm.
Norton wanted to have sex with Candy as well.
Yep. Well, why not?
And how much was it going to cost you?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I'll let you know. I never...
Before Norton said, I just want to make it perfectly clear, lowly intern Noah, free sex all weekend long with hot 20-year-old porn star Candy.
Free sex all weekend long.
So much sex that he's saying no to sex in bathrooms in public.
Right. Scratches down his back.
He's
wild,
getting so
madman
much sex. There was a point where he had to say no mas.
No, not in the basement at the furniture store.
Right.
Well, as the day was progressing, she was indicating that she liked Noah. You could tell that she liked him.
Yeah.
And so I was going to ask for her number just to conduct some business.
Uh-huh.
But him and her were kind of talking, and to me that would have been like a C-block move. Not that she would have went for me over him, but that kind of adds a bad vibe if you're in the studio and everybody's like a vulture.
Sure.
So it was like, let it go. I'll talk to Joe later and see if she maybe wants to talk to me later. But I didn't want to make her uncomfortable because she seemed to have a vibe going with Noah. I'm not a blocker. Right. I hate cock-blocking guys.
Absolutely.
So I talked to Joe after. I'm like, hey, man, just call Candy. I would like to talk to her if she wants to. If she doesn't, tell her it's cool. No one's uncomfortable, whatever. Just give her my number. And so he talked to me like hours later.
So much for not whoring, by the way. Remember,
I know, I'm a weak man. But
remember you were swearing off that?
Wanted to feel it out. So Joe calls me. He goes, look, man, I don't know the deal. She said you could call her. He's like, I really don't know if she likes you or not. I'm not sure. I'm like, yeah, no problem. He stayed out of it. So I gave her a jingle.
And called her up.
Right after she got back from good old New Jersey. And I'm like...
yeah, when did you call her, like, exactly? What day and time was it?
It was Friday. It was sometime she had just come back into Jersey, obviously from having a lot of free young sex.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what was happening while you called her. Was she actually with?
No. I believe she answered the phone.
Just had free sex with him.
Free sex
and left.
with
she
our
probably
intern.
got the call from Joe, knowing that I wanted to talk to her, but probably couldn't jot the number down because her mouth was all full of young intern mule. Young intern mule. Not
Without
15,
a thought of a buck in her head.
Not a thought of 15 years slaving in this motherfucking business. Not one thought. Not one thought about a social life thrown out to be good in comedy. Not one. Why would you think about that when there's abs and a smile? Why would you?
You might as well add that you were on VH1 this past weekend.
Who cares? MTV pilots, the Opie and Anthony show, the Tonight Show does it.
You had a quick scene in Spider-Man. I guess
it is as meaningless as I've been telling you for all these years. Yeah. It's drivel. So we chat briefly on the phone.
The only thing Noah has going for him is good DNA.
Good-looking guy. Very handsome guy. And a nice guy. He's a nice guy. I like Noah.
You've got a great resume. He's got good DNA.
Yeah,
That's what it comes down to.
I have a mediocre resume, and he has great DNA. But it's one of many times I've lost to good-looking guys. Right. It's just the way it goes.
So she gave you a jingle back?
Well, no, she actually answered when I called.
Oh, okay.
So I'm talking to her for a second. I'm like, so how you doing? She's like, cool. I'm like, yeah, I would like to hang. And she's like, well, that could be arranged, which I immediately liked. Talk business.
Business.
Yeah, I'm not some dummy who's like, hey, I think she, please. I'm 36 and she's 20.
Uh-huh.
This is what made me want to just spit peas at her. I'm like, all right, well, let's talk about it. And she's like, well, I'm working for so-and-so. And she quoted the price, and I almost threw the phone out the window. She wanted $1,000.
Oh, Jesus. That she was giving the
$1,000 to have sex with him.
That she was giving the intern for free.
Well, no. To be fair,
the intern.
I said, look, that can't happen. It's too much. And then, to be fair, she did say that she would do it for $500, which is quite a break when you think of the 23-year-old good-looking guy getting it for free.
All weekend, by the way.
All weekend
Not
long.
just an hour of her time.
Not just one load from you.
Like a free play. Right.
It was a free play weekend.
How many? Could you find out how many times Noah had sex for free with the porn star? I really want to rub this in today because I'm such an ass.
Maybe add it up in dollars and cents.
Right.
How much free sex he did get.
Oh, and how much, as opposed to how much it was. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what it would have run.
Cost me a pretty penny.
Oh.
And Ben talking for the first time in a week. Yes,
6 times.
All right. Wow. So even with a discounted rate,
yeah,
that would have been $3,000 for her to put herself through the torture of sleeping with awful Jim Norton
for an hour.
That's the
No. Well, it's
Oh, it's for an hour. Let's not kid each other. It's for an hour.
But it's one load though usually, right?
Well, they call it cups in the business. They could have 1 or 2 cups. I don't know how they work it. An hour for me. I've never gotten off more than 1. For me, as soon as it's done, eat it.
So that's where he's doing the math. So it would have cost him $3,000.
The only thing that annoyed me, it wasn't the money issue. That's fine. It was the amount that she wanted. It's like, are you fucking crazy?
You were just in here. It's like, you know something? It's like we shared something professionally. It's like, how about a little discounted rate?
And
it's
if
like
you
the guy you know at the car dealer.
If you tell me 1,000 of 500 is discounted, I'll vomit on my own shoes. That's not a discount. You think I don't know how the business works? You quote high. You don't know how much money the guy has. Right. I'll do it for 500. But you could have. If she would have said 200 for just a little bit, not full, I would have said yeah, all right. So it wasn't the amount that she wanted to charge you. That I really didn't care about. I don't take that.
It's like a businessman that's you've done business with him before, which is what she did here on our show, and then taking care of you. Like I said, at the car dealership, the guy goes, "Hey, I could give you a little off on this."
Absolutely.
And she was so repulsed that
yes,
she could not even bring it down to a normal
rate. And she
rate.
couldn't even think in business terms of the amount of plugs I would have given her. I would have been Pete Plug. All I would have talked about
Unfortunately, she was horrified by the one plug you would have given her. That the other ones didn't really matter anymore.
And as revolting as this is, it's almost good because I tell you, people think I'm exaggerating or I'm crazy. It is exactly the way things are.
I completely understand, and I feel for you, Jimmy.
Don't. It's just my life.
No, I do.
What am I, 36? This type of stuff has been going on since probably the age of 12.
Right now, I am Bob Kelly, and you are that little midget with the hands flailing in front of you.
Ooh, she likes me.
Oh, my God.
Free for the intern. $1,000 discounted to $500.
That's what it's just a kick to the old fat appendix scar stomach.
Now I understand how you operate sometimes, and something like this could really throw Jimmy for a loop. Jimmy's an emotional guy sometimes. These things get to him.
Mm-hmm.
How did you then deal with this sort of rejection for the rest of your weekend?
Well, I handled it pretty well, considering that night I finally called one of my regulars. I did break down.
You did break down.
Broke down. I told you I'd be honest when I did, if I did.
So how many days did you last?
Maybe a week.
A week.
Oh, yeah, I think it was last Monday, right?
About a week.
Hey, you know what the good thing is, though?
What?
You did save yourself some cash.
I saved myself a lot of cash.
It's not like if you fall off the wagon and go to a whore, that you then have to pay the whores that you would have slept with. That money is money in the bank.